Hummer, na digital blessing. High tech, they rise, no stressing. Money boy on the beat. I see numbers on my screen. Green candles make me lean. My people, them, they win. High tech, they flow like stream. Enough, we go down. Now only young we know. All my people gather round. Make we show them how we grow. High tech, na juju money. Juju money. Price, they rise infinitely. My God, dash us this blessing. This blessings. Digital money, no go rest, oh. No rest. Sharp pattern, they confirm. Every trader, they affirm. All time high, no be ceiling. Market makers, them, they feeling. My brother, check the stats. Numbers climbing like that. New record every day. High tech, show them the way. Enough, it go down. Now only up we know. All my people gather around. Make we show them how we grow. High tech, na juju money. Juju money. Price, they rise infinitely. Infinitely. My God, dash us this blessing.
Oh my, that was an abrupt end of the song. Sorry for that. Okay, I think everything should be working fine. Let me quickly confirm how it's going. I think I should be available now on forum platforms right now. Let me quickly check. Okay. Yeah, I think everything is working fine. All right, so let's start. My name is Hightech, of course. I'm the creator of the Hightech meme coin. And on these live streams, I talk about what happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what I think about it, and of course, I will comment on Hightech as well. So let's start. Quite a lot has happened recently. I mean, today actually. Oh, recently, yesterday, today, since the last live stream I've done. I don't know what the hell is going on with this one. Okay. Here we are. Here's the live chat. I mean, it's supposed to be live chat. I don't know why it's looking like that, or maybe, just maybe. Okay, you know what? Allow me to rearrange it. Rearrange this. It's a little bit messy. Maybe let's go to more traditional. It's not this one. Sorry for this one. Where is it? It's here. Should be somewhere here. Where is my current live stream? Here it is. Enter. And here we'll have the live chat. Yeah, right here. And here. Okay. So this way, sorry for it. I'm a little bit unorganized today. So if you guys have any questions, of course, you can feel free to ask me whatever here. I will see it. If you watch it, of course, on Rumble, then you will be writing it on Rumble. If you watch it in the live chat, of course, if you watch it on YouTube, write it in the live chat on YouTube. On X, the same. So yeah, I think, wow, I think right now there is total of 6 people watching me. So apparently, if this is 1 and this is 1, so that's 2, and where is the remaining 4? So that must be X, because YouTube right now is 0. And indeed, that must be true, because on my phone I see there is 4 people watching right now. So now it's 7. That's cool. So apparently Rumble has fixed the counter, because they as you see, they introduced a little bit of new layout here, and that is why I got a little bit lost in the process. But yeah, I like it a little bit more since the counter is working. I like it a little bit more. But okay, let's go over to what the hell is going on in the charts. Again, sorry for prolonging it a little bit too much. And some delivery has arrived probably because I heard the bell. Anyway, as you see, S&P is having a really good day. because we have opened. I mean, and again, I know this is about crypto, but S&P is important since we've got Bitcoin spot ETFs, and S&P started to play even more significant role than before. I mean, we were correlated before, long before too, but since we have Bitcoin spot ETFs, we are even more correlated. So that is why I discuss it here, right? So as you see, we are back above 6,000 points on S&P, a really good opening, and a really good day, at least so far, where we'll see how we are going to progress deeper into it. But yeah, whatever was shaking it up yesterday apparently is completely gone. Today, I think it was mainly because of this feud in between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Of course, I don't know why people maybe were a little bit, afraid of what effects it can bring, or maybe it was just market makers, making use from the opportunity to liquidate, grab some liquidity here and there, and that's it. Maybe it has nothing to do with actually what the sentiment was. Now I think, I mean, probably we will never really know it because I don't think there is one single person that has enough of data to identify it accurately. But yeah, I mean, the facts are we are back to being bullish. Of course, in this small time frame here, even as you see, there was an entry signal on S&P, even though my algorithm was not designed for S&P. It was designed for 24 hours markets, not for markets that are traded only 8 hours a day, 5 times a week. But as you see, it correctly identified that we are about to experience a rise. So yeah, that's additional information to you that whenever stock tokenize and my systems start to trade stocks, of course it will contribute to appreciation of my token, of my meme coin, and that is why it maybe makes sense to get yourself a small allocation into it, while it's still so tiny. Hodlers wise, there is just 50 hodlers having this token right now, so it's very, very early. And yeah, let's take a look at the live chat once again. So together with S&P, and as you see, it keeps pushing up. I like what we see here. Together with S&P, Bitcoin has recovered a little bit today too. As you see, we have recovered all of the downside from yesterday, and that was more or less what I was even saying yesterday on my Polish live stream. I did not do any live stream in English, unfortunately. I don't have that much time to do both every single day. I'm trying to do it as often as humanly possible. Right now, because I still have little following among my English social media. I prioritize, of course, my Polish social media because I have literally 10 times following there, and like maybe 50 times more reach. But whenever I gain more following here, more reach here, then of course those roles will shift. Those roles will flip. So that's why give it a like, share, subscribe, so that following grows, right? Because on this channel, on my social media, you will find out things about the crypto market, about the market situation. You will not find out on any other channel. Why? Because I'm a professional, right? I'm a professional, and most of those guys, they are professional content creators. They're not professional traders. Me, myself, I'm a professional trader. So it's going to be a completely different story from that perspective. I don't really think there is any legitimate professional in the crypto space at all. There is few people that claim they are professional. But from what I have heard them saying, I highly doubt that's true. To be honest, highly doubt. Or if they are professionals, they are really bad ones. One that is professional for 100% is Alessio Rastani. It's my favorite, aside from myself, and I highly encourage you to subscribe to Alessio Rastani's YouTube channel. Even though he would never influence my thinking about the market, I like sometimes to get his perspective on what he can what can he see for upcoming future. Uh, I think reactive trading is much better than predictive trading, but reactive trading can be exercised uniquely with good automation, because I mean, good automation means that an automation that does not fail, does not have a high fail rate. Mine has like literally zero or fail rate. Almost like I think it's like 99.99999, maybe even 90% of success rate. So you don't really see it failing when it comes to opening a trade or closing a trade. There is no solutions like that on the market available for white public. Why? Because the more traffic you want to handle, the more failures you are going to experience. So that's the main reason, and it can't really be avoided. That's the sad part. That's why systems with such high success rate like mine cannot be available for a wider public. I can give the access to it to a really small group of people, comparatively speaking. But yeah, so that's why it's definitely worth to subscribe to my channel, because like I said, I mean, you are going to hear things you don't hear anywhere else. And I treat it mainly from market mechanics standpoint. I consider it from that angle. I think that's the angle that is the most correct, is the one that gives us highest percent of getting things right, even though price action noise still applies. And depending on what interval we look at things, there is still a margin of swings that can go against, or yeah, literally can go against what market mechanics temporarily says. Why? Because that's the nature of finance in general, right? It does not follow a path in a straight line, a certain path in a straight line. There is just too many elements, moving parts involved, and that is why that's why it's not an easy game. It's very easy to get lost. Just like definitely some people got lost with this dump heading towards 100k. Maybe even quite few of you guys have sold because of what was going on here, because we've been going sideways for like almost a week. So probably many of you have switched to much smaller time frames. So out of a sudden, when you started to see something like this, like a cascade of sell-offs, I have it easy to imagine that you probably panicked and you literally panic sold, and now you are completely disoriented. You don't know what to do with this, because as you see, the price is coming back up. Yesterday on my live stream, I literally crafted a sentence that if you sell right now, then you should just quit staring at charts, quit try to make it with trading, just go outside and do gardening or something, because I think there's very few moments, historically speaking, it has been very few historically speaking moments like the one we are currently in, where the situation is so obvious. In the light of United States trying their best to get rid of the ceiling debt, I mean, what else what more obvious signs you need to actually hang on to this market, right? Because once they manage to do that and they already started that conversation, that means the longer it persists, the closer we are. And the president of the United States is wishing for it and has a lot of tools for generating pressure towards it. In my eyes, that's pretty much guaranteed they are going to really do it. The only question is when exactly. Probably not that we will not have to wait that long. Highly likely this year. Highly likely this year. And remember that markets always try to predict at least 6 months in advance. So that means we are going to see a reaction for it, like literally, I don't know, today, tomorrow, days, within days. And we start to run towards that event. So that is why this is literally the worst time to be out of this market. The worst time. The best time to be in this market. And of course, that does not mean you will not be able to lose money. Of course, you will be able to lose money because there will be a lot of volatility on the way up, same as it has been so far. Like if you examine this uptrend on Bitcoin chart, there was some volatility. There was some time of a cool off. There was some pullbacks. Some sideways price action, some stagnation, like I don't know, a week, 2 weeks of stagnation. Those times are literally for you to have your doubts. So it starts to consume you. It starts to push you towards the edge, push your patience towards the edge, and make you come to the conclusion that I better sell it before we resume the downtrend. It will stay like that. It will stay like that. Yesterday, even on my Polish live stream, I said, theoretically speaking, when we look at this here, it looks like a head and shoulders formation. But because of the conditions, fundamentally speaking, the wind is blowing so hard north. I have a really hard time seeing this formation resolving the target. And as you see, right now is returning, right? Is literally, probably even today is going to negate both of the shoulders, left and right. And when that happens, then it's like literally we are done with this formation from a technical perspective, technical analysis perspective. And we have to look up what is above us, right? What we can eventually what we can come up with when it comes to I don't know, next level of resistance, right? Of course, the obvious one is all-time high. I don't think we are going to stay there or even stop there. Probably we are not even going to stop there for a day. Maybe for some hours we will see a little bit of rejections, and that's it. The altcoin market, I think, is gearing up for a huge move up. I think the place to be right now is the altcoin market. Some meme coins, like for example my meme coin. My meme coin is definitely a place to be. Why? Because this is still a very early stage of this market. I don't really think you will be able to nail a next one like this if you try to do it. I don't know, just go in the trenches and search for it. Highly likely you will just stumble upon some scam and you will get rug pull. This one is a project permanently pegged to my social media. This is the last project I'm going to promote. Why? Because this is my project, so I'm in the package. I'm literally in the package. So I don't think there is any other meme coin that has a full-time influencer attached to it permanently. So yeah, consider that, right? Because consider when high interest kicks in, how big my social media can go and how aggressively number of holders of this coin can grow. Because right now there's only 50, and with 50 we went from $1 to currently $150, and at some point we were above $300, right? And we will get back to $300. That much I can guarantee you. And that was only with 50. So imagine if we have 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 20,000. Imagine where the price is going to be. So that this is your opportunity. If it's very easy to review, it's very easy to examine this coin and estimate what potential it really has. It's one. I think it's one of the easiest. Why? Because of my record. Because I have right now I have a really long record of what I've been doing. I can go to my YouTube channel and just go back in time and check how consequent I am, right? That I once I put my mind into something, once I decide to do something, I just stick to it and I keep grinding. So you can easily tell that when I start a project, then I don't abandon it. I don't throw it into the dustbin. I just keep grinding until it's a success, right? And that was the case with the previous project I was promoting here, and it's going to be the case with this one too, of course. But with this one, the things are going to be much easier because the entry point is almost at zero. That was not the case with my previous project, where the entry point was really high. It was sky high, one of the highest in the industry. So yeah, this one is going to be a walk in the park. So yeah, I highly advise you to allocate even something small, even if it's like $1 or a couple of dollars, it's still going to make you money. So accountable money, right? So just do not ignore it, because I'm telling you guys, you're going to be really sorry, really sorry. Because right now, when we look at how it's looking on what the hell is on Google Trends, what the hell has happened here? Here it is. Meme coin search term in United States. I mean, on YouTube, because that one I think is the most telling. What is really going on? I see I set up the wrong title. Okay, I have to correct it later. Because I didn't put the number of live stream, which number it is. Okay, but whatever. Later I will correct it. I just realized that. Anyway, so as you see, the interest is very low. 17. It's one of the lowest. The lowest here during the last 12 months was 11, right? Second lowest was 12, and then it was like 16, 15, 15, 17 again, 13. Right now it's at 17. So we are definitely in the time of a very low interest. So nobody is looking at meme coins, nobody is looking at crypto. I think meme coins is the easiest, I mean, it's the best search term right now to actually measure what is the overall interest in the crypto space. Why? Because meme coins have the lowest entry point. Meme coins, usually when they make meme coins, they make the unit to be like very cheap, because people tend to think that you have to buy the whole coin, that you cannot buy a fraction of a coin. So that's why they make it look like very cheap, to create the impression that it can grow very high, like to, I don't know, $1, $10, or even thousands of dollars, and they start at I don't know, 0.000001 of a cent, right? So the entry point is the lowest, and this one is going to show us the earliest is the interest in the crypto space rising or not. So right now, and here is even, as you see, meme coin search term is even lower. It's at 20. Last week it was at 24. Meme coins is getting a little bit better. This one actually is showing a little bit of an uptick, 17 against 16 this week against 16 last week. So a very, very small uptick. Let's try Bitcoin. Bitcoin is probably it's above 50, but it's still, when we compare it to the lowest level in the last 12 months, well, it's hanging around there. What about Bitcoin? The full world. Yeah, so far it's much lower than last week. So as you see, we have a lot of room for growth. Now is the time to look around and decide where you want to put your money into, not when all of the mainstream is just pondering about it, right? When that happens, that means we are approaching the top. We are approaching some U-turn sometime in the near future. In the near future, and that's not the time to invest your money. You should be interested in investing your money when nobody is talking about this sector, when nobody is talking about this space, and that's now. That's now, especially when it comes to altcoins. Nobody's talking about altcoins right now. Nobody's talking about meme coins right now. If you find any talks anywhere is about either Bitcoin, actually it's only about Bitcoin. I wanted to say Ethereum, but Ethereum no. Ethereum is discussed only in the space. It's not discussed outside of the space. Outside of the space right now is discussed a little bit Bitcoin, but very, very little. So that's definitely not the time to sell Bitcoin. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret what I just said. As you have seen, according to the data, according to searches, we are really, really, really low with the interest, and now you should be putting your money into this space. So Ethereum is not recovering as good as Bitcoin is. I think it will perform upcoming weeks. I think we are going to get at least like plus 30% on this one within, I don't know, next 3 weeks. Percent, of course, not thousands. Don't think I'm talking about thousands. I don't really think Ethereum is going to go that high, even though right now, if they want to remove the debt ceiling, then that makes price predictions turbo difficult. In these conditions, can we reach like 10,000 for Ethereum? Yeah, probably yes. 20,000 for Ethereum? Yeah, probably yes. But the purchasing power of that 10,000 or 20,000 probably will be equivalent to 5,000 current US dollars, or maybe 6,000 current US dollars, because it's going to inflate the value of US dollar by a lot. So that's why it makes it so difficult to actually knowing that they are going to remove the debt ceiling in the United States. It makes it actually impossible to predict. Pretty much everything is going to score a new all-time high, with some exceptions of some altcoins that went to like minus 99% since they were listed on Binance, for example. Those coins highly likely are not going to see their all-time highs, because they would have to score like 100x. That is not happening. But those solid projects, that do not have high inflation, that they really are delivering some value, or at least have sizable communities, those probably are going to perform quite well. Or those that have very solid fundamentals, and have a lot of room for growth, have a very good support, let's say community support. Those are also going to perform very well, and to those projects I think my meme coin belongs definitely. Why? Because we are still a very, very small community, but a very, very strong community. And of course, just recently we started to grow a little bit more. We have grown in conditions of zero interest. We have taken this coin from $1 to $150 in conditions of zero interest. So imagine what will happen when that interest kicks in, right? Around surrounding cryptocurrencies and meme coins. So I'm repeating it once again, guys. This is probably the best opportunity for you to make money for the first time in a very, very long time, and probably long after. Let me take a look at the live chat. Okay, so there's 406 people watching. That's very nice. Again, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the live chat. I will try to answer to the best of my abilities, of course. If I don't have an opinion about it, then I will tell you straight away. So yeah, let's examine those charts I usually look at. Let me take a look at others, how the weekly are changing here. Okay, maybe the daily first. So here we are coming back from falling below that tight zone in between 245 and 250 billion dollars, which I marked as one of the important ones. Right now we are having a little bit of problems with getting back into it, but let's take a look at Heiken Ashi. Heiken Ashi is going to tell us a little bit more, especially on the weekly. So on the weekly, we are just slightly below it. We are very, very close to get back to it. That's good. And we still have quite some time to make a comeback, because it's Friday, just Friday today. So we have still a part of today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, Sunday, of course. My guess is that we are going to get back, we are going to recover it. We are going to get back above that zone, and then probably next week we will finally go parabolic on altcoins. And this is something I'm preaching about for last 3 weeks, and I know the market has made us wait. You know, that's something that is always in the cards. But in my eyes, that means that parabolic move up will be only stronger. The longer we have to wait here, in my eyes, means that when it finally occurs, it's going to be much stronger than it would have been if we were to go straight. We were going to, go straight upwards. If that's even a correct English, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I butcher it. My English is not really the best. I'm just trying to do my best here. I'm not a native English. Sometimes I will say something a little bit whack. Okay. Hopefully you understand it. Probably most of the people that watch this channel, their English is not perfect neither. So yeah, let's take a look at how gold is acting, because gold, at least in theory, should be giving us a glimpse into overall sentiment of TradFi. Is it risk on? Is it risk off? I think the biggest trick right now with a huge printing coming will be that gold will be also performing well. So everything will be performing well because of course it's measured against US dollar. So like literally horse crap will be soaring in price. And that will be very misleading, because many people think when gold is going up, that means risk on assets have to go down. In this case, obviously, we cannot really retain the same correlation. And on Heiken Ashi, as you see, it actually looks good on the weekly. On the daily, we are having a red Heiken Ashi today. Let's examine standard candles. And this one looks like it's breaking downwards. So that's good. That's good. I still expected gold to also perform well in dollar terms because like I said, I mean it's pretty much impossible it's going to be anyhow different in an environment where literally the value of dollar is getting trashed. But yeah, like temporarily, if this one breaks down, has a correction, goes at least shortly below $3,000, I think of course it will help us to earn a little bit more of upward momentum in risk on asset realm, and I totally don't mind that. But later on, I don't expect gold to keep depreciating again in dollar terms. It's because the dollar apparently is going to get trashed. Probably most of the fiat around the world is going to get trashed because once United States global hegemon is going to remove their debt ceiling, that highly likely that move is going to be copied everywhere else in the Western world, Europe of course included. So Europe probably is going to share the same fate. There will be only like handful of countries that will not be stupid enough to do something like that. I mean, United States are pretty much forced to do it, to be honest. After what they've done for with the previous administration, with the current global events, they have to finance two big wars, actually three, because the third one I think is coming to Taiwan. So there is literally no other way like to do something like that, and otherwise they will not be able to finance it. But the good part about it is that they will inject a lot of liquidity into their economy. A lot of liquidity means that the money flow is going to be without any barriers. Money flow, even in conditions of high inflation, is something that grants wealth creation the most. So that is why mainly thanks to speculation, thanks to the possibility of speculating on other assets, and I think this is exactly what we are going to witness, what we are about to witness. Let's take a look at crypto fear and greed index. How this one is looking today. Yesterday it was at 55.46, so we went even below 50. So we are start to get fearful. That's even better. This is actually from yesterday. This is not from today. This is from yesterday. So that's even better because we are in a very close vicinity to all-time highs on Bitcoin. So if you are this fearful with literally zero liquidity right now, which favors bulls, when we are high and there is no liquidity, it means everybody and their mother that ever wanted to sell, they already sold, right? So we are only perma bulls right now. Those that well calculated, those that have a cash flow, have everything well organized, they don't have to sell. They don't have to sell. Why? Because then we would observe a sharp declines, even with a little bit of fear, with low liquidity. We will see wild swings. Nothing like that is happening in crypto terms. So that literally means that there is no other way for this asset like to go up. And that is why after a little bit of a sell-off, we observe quite a brief recovery, as you see. The yesterday daily candle is already the body of yesterday's daily candle is already engulfed with today's green candle. So we are back on the track to upward trajectory. Do not bet on this thing going down now, because it's going to turn against you in a very nasty manner. This is not the time to bet on Bitcoin going down right now. Not until the third quarter, fourth quarter, yeah. Not until fourth quarter. I think until the end of third quarter, you can easily bet on Bitcoin going up. So yeah. Okay, let's take a look at liquidations levels. Those probably are going to be somewhat higher. $350 million for the last 24 hours. So yeah, it gets up, but it gets up because we approached $100,000, from above. So of course, many longs got liquidated. Famous James Wynn got wiped out for like 8 times in a row already. The guy that is trying to play it big, make it big on hyperliquid decentralized exchange. My let's say, um, somebody has written me. Okay, sorry. I suspect that it's nothing else but a marketing campaign, because when you risk that much money on leverage that high, I mean, you either have to be really, really rich and have a very steady income in huge numbers, or you must be very, very stupid, or maybe you inherited some money and you must be very, very, very stupid, because obviously you're going to lose it. And the third option is that this is all actually staged. Your actions are being financed by the exchange itself. It definitely brings a lot of attention, and everyone lives with that story, because to some extent it can turn out to be the quote unquote proof that trading on leverage you can make it big. That's not really true, and to some extent it has been proven so far because I mean, this guy, he keeps losing. He may have a big comeback, and then I don't know, say, I mean, just move into the shadows, move away, right, from the light of huge reflectors. But probably, I mean, can that be the most likely scenario, if that's marketing campaign, that is literally what's going to happen? He's going to recover, he's going to make it big, and then he just fades away, right? He disappears from the scene. Some other individuals like him are going to pop up, and all of the attention will get redirected towards them. Then, so from time to time he will be coming back, and so on, right? So just to keep the people in the casino. If that's not a marketing campaign, this guy, he's going to lose everything, and we will just forget about him, right? If that's not staged. If it is staged, he's going to make a huge comeback, and he's going to quote unquote make it, because people, they cannot know that you cannot win trading leverage. You literally cannot win, cannot make it. That's literally the numbers. The numbers do not add up, right? Because take, for instance, whatever strategy that is advertised as a working strategy on leverage, and make a compound interest from that strategy for next 10 years. You will reach numbers that are definitely impossible, absolutely impossible to reach. And that, for even somebody with average IQ, will become quite blatant that something is not right here. But of course, people don't want to make this little of a homework. As they don't even want to type it in, I don't know, 5 times in a row on the calculator to just see how actually big money they, theoretically speaking, they would reach if they applied a certain strategy. And that, like, if that was that easy, if that were to be achieved that easily, then way too many people would have way too much money, and that's obviously not the case. So yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, if that's the case, and in my opinion, that's probably on the higher side of probabilities. Then stories like that, they will keep people in the casino they will encourage them to use leverage for trading, and of course they'll keep losing. But yeah, that is why this channel brings you this extra value, that here I explain things, here I tell you the truth, where the money lays. That it lays only in spot trading, nowhere else, unfortunately. There is literally nobody who trades leverage with leverage for their own money, with their own hard-earned money, and make it. People that trade leverage and make money, they trade with others people money, and they keep searching for investors and stuff. Most of the time they lose. When they make it, they earn from the wins. They don't risk the losses, right? So that's why the real money lies only in spot trading. So that's why I encourage you, of course, to purchase my own meme coin on the spot market, right? Not on any type of derivatives or anything. Which, of course, this one has no derivatives market yet. Probably sometime in the future it will acquire one. Then I will be highly discouraging you to trade on it, because you will continue to get wrecked time and time again. Okay, let's take a look at my live chat. There's 7 people watching. That's cool. That's really cool. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And yeah, CMC Crypto Fear and Greed Index again confirms that this is the time. This is the time to get yourself some crypto. Not when they talk about it in the news. When they talk about it in the news, you are late. You're really late. Remember that. Okay, let's go over to my X. Let's see what stories we can find there today. Yesterday, the biggest one, of course, was the conflict in between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I'm not sure how alive it's still yet. I wanted to check something. How is the connection going? Connection is going stable. That's cool. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. Peter Schiff, nobody. Naive, nobody. Peter Schiff, I'm not saying it wasn't a crime. I'm just saying it's not na-na-na-na. When I was in college, I had na-na-na-na with underage na-na-na-na. That doesn't make me a na-na-na-na. Peter Schiff has written something like this for real? Well, according to the law, it makes him that. So I will be very careful with claims like that, especially in the United States, because those women now can come out from the closet and say it was not consensual. So I don't think Peter Schiff has thought it very well. No, what else we have? Again, laughing at this beef in between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Very childish how they throw at each other. And that is why it kinda makes me think that it's literally that, it's staged, it's not for real. Union spokesperson says Elon Musk is welcome in Europe. Okay. All right. I don't think he's going to be better in Europe, in the United States, to be honest. I don't think Donald Trump is going to go after him hard, if that's true. If that whole situation is for real. The Bitcoin historian Justin Michael Saylor tells CNBC he's getting even more bullish on Bitcoin because banks and regulators are giving it the green light. Yeah, by the way, hence the title, the Uber supposedly is planning to accept cryptocurrencies. I mean the payments. I don't know exactly what way, because something I have found through Grok last minute. Maybe we are going to come across it on my timeline. But yeah, that's more adoption if you can spend your crypto with Uber. I think that's cool. That's really really cool. I think I would even do that. I would even pay if I have possibility of paying my Uber, and I use Uber a lot. If I have possibility of paying my Ubers with crypto, I think that would be my first choice. But then I have to create like a special wallet for it that is well covers the tracks, so nobody really knows how much money I have. Because other than that, it would be very dangerous to me and my family. Because different amounts of money have different value for different people. So some people, like a few grants is already worth of killing a bunch of innocent folks. So for some people, that, let's say, that bar is way way higher. So I rather not risk it if I pay with crypto. President Trump says the Federal Reserve is a disaster and calls for 100 basis point interest rate cut. So obviously President Trump is criticizing Federal Reserve and is calling for interest rate cut. He's a very long time critic of Federal Reserve. No changes there. Whale by 3,046 Ethereum scooped for 8 million, spotted on Binance. No hesitation, no waiting. Smart money isn't waiting. They're front running the breakout. What's your move? Yeah, there is on chain. There is more and more investors in the Ethereum, and like I said, probably we are going to see like another plus 30% on Ethereum at most, at least. Sorry, and given that the debt ceiling is probably highly likely about to be removed, then Ethereum price should soar much higher. The Metaplanet announces to raise 5.4 billion to buy more Bitcoin, targets to hold over 210,000 Bitcoin. Let me tell you, when companies are raising capital like that, I know it's already a thing that there is corporations that announce they raise money to buy Bitcoin and they do not buy that Bitcoin. They buy like a symbolic amount of it. They just they do it because it's very easy to get attention then, and it's much easier to gather this capital, to collect it, and they actually use it for something else. They buy like a very symbolic amount of Bitcoin just to for demonstration purposes, and that's it. And that's something, of course, what has a huge negative potential, but for speculative reasons, I think it's going to serve us anyway. I mean, it's going to serve a bubble to be born, and it's going to be a really really nice one. I mean, on my side, since I don't trade markets manually, I have my systems for it. I have absolutely nothing against it happening like this. There is even more opportunity for me if it's done that way, because that means that this market will have a huge crash, after the narrative runs out. So, nothing can grow up forever. Corrections are literally a part of this game. Even on my token, even though it's still very very tiny, it did not manage to run forever, because at some point the interest has cooled off. So this is absolutely normal everywhere, and same it will be, of course, with Bitcoin, with all that Bitcoin reserve narrative. Right now we are on the rise. Right now we are just gearing up for the right speed, but don't have any doubts that that narrative will run out too. Uh, that means that actually means there's going to be even more opportunity in this market, right? But what you know is when to sell, because there will be a time to sell. And for what? For what to sell? For US dollars? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe the best way to your profit to take your profit will not be in US dollar. Maybe it will be in something else. But probably it's not going to happen. I mean, we don't have to think about it right now. Probably we have quite a lot of time for it. I think this bull market is going to last well into 2026, into deep 2026. I'm fairly sure, like literally 95% sure, the bull market, the crypto bull market is now not going to end in 2025. I think it's going to last into deep 2026. Mr. Nobody, how did society get tricked into working 40 hours a week for 40 years? I think that's living life. I'm not going to comment on that. Very easy in comparison to what it used to be 50, 60 years ago. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is smashing everything. Yeah, right. But as you see, S&P is following. Let me go back to the live chat. Okay. South Korea. South Korea's new president declares Bitcoin a national priority. What a time to be alive. You heard it. I don't know what the hell is he planning to do with it. United Kingdom to allow Bitcoin ETFs for retail investors. Here we go. But is it spot ETFs? I think so. This one, this one is funny. I'm going to bookmark it. This this is the this is the meme for Peter Schiff's post. That meme was funny. Crypto Net Worth took screenshot right before the crash. Breaking Apple X and Airbnb are exploring crypto adoption by Fortune. For sure, even if they are not public with it, they surely there is surely at least some talks behind closed doors. I have zero doubt about it. Jelly market is down because the president of the USA is having a tweet battle with the richest man in the world. What a time to be alive. That was 19 hours. It's over. Broskis again in no time. Trump and Elon will never be friends again. Is that real? Let me check it. Did he really do something like this? What has he tweeted? I think Musk will do what's right, but Trump won't like it, and that's what matters. Lots of numbers, bumps, Broadcom, no. No, I don't see it. Maybe in the reply. I don't see it here, eh? Yeah, I don't see it. So I don't know where they took it from. Hopefully he has written something like that somewhere. because that would mean uh, yeah, is done for. The conflict is over. The beef is over. All right, guys, allow me to wrap it up. I think I have live stream long enough. Bitcoin is going up. Here it has been 1 hour and 1 minute. Bitcoin, as you see, keeps recovering. We're back on the upward track. Like I said, do not trade against this thing going up now. Do not bet on altcoin market going down from here. Altcoin market is going to rip towards the upside very aggressively, very, very soon. Within days, I even dare to say within days, Bitcoin is going to make a new all-time highs. Why? Because markets are pricing in what is going to happen within the next 6 months, at least next 6 months. And right now, we started serious talks about getting rid of the debt ceiling in the United States. That's going to take effect in the global finance very, very shortly. So my offer in all of this mess, of course, is my meme coin high tech. You can find the link to its trading pool, its liquidity pool in the description section of my live stream on YouTube and on Rumble. If you watch it on X, then just go to my bio. You will find mint address in text form there. Of course, you have mint address to this coin in the banner on the screen, but if you want in the image form in the banner, if you want it in the text form, then go to my X and copy it from my bio, pasting it in whatever Solana DEX, because it's a Solana meme coin. You will find it and get yourself something tiny that you will not be nervous about, because don't worry, it will still become money. Like even if you throw at it $1, it will still become money, because this thing is still turbo early, and yeah, you don't have to sweat. You don't have to sweat. Generally speaking, never overinvest. Always invest. Something that you will not be sweating over, and that way is much easier to stay in the strong hands camp, because to be strong hands, you don't have to invest a lot of money. It's enough if you invest just something that you can afford, and you don't have to touch it. That's literally the definition of strong hands. Investment that you don't have to sweat over, that you don't have to touch, you don't have to liquidate, because, for example, you have to pay the bills. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for your time, and I see you soon. Cheers.